origin of the Tsistsistas. Any culture that retains its history and memories by telling and retelling of stories and passing them down from one generation to the next is called oral history. This is an educational program covering the origin of the Tsistsistas, sweet medicine, the prophet of the Cheyenne people, and Bear Butte, the location where he received the ways of the Cheyenne people and the teachings he brought back to them, which include the Sacred Arrows Covenant, the Cheyenne Council of 44, and the tribal societies. Today, we will be listening to 4 well-respected Cheyenne tribal elders who were interviewed for their knowledge and expertise about the history and the culture of the Cheyenne people. Dr. Henrietta Mann, also known as the woman who comes to offer prayer, is an enrolled member of the Southern Cheyenne tribe. Dr. Mann holds a PhD in Native American Studies. Fred White Wolf Sr., also known as Waterbird, is an enrolled member of the Northern Cheyenne tribe. Mr. White Wolf is a Northern Cheyenne elder. Elva Stanson Timber, also known as Day Walking Woman, is an enrolled member of the Northern Cheyenne tribe. She is a Crazy Dog Society sister. Silas Big Left Hand, also known as Red Wolf, is an enrolled member of the Northern Cheyenne tribe. Mr. Big Left Hand is a Sundance priest. The origin of the Tsistsistas, people of sweet medicine. The origin of the Cheyenne people is complex. The complexity is the result of the coming together of 2 groups of people who spoke a similar language. The 2 groups include the Tsistsistas and the Tsistsistas, who, as oral history has it, were camped on the opposite banks of what we now know as the Missouri River. With the river separating the 2 camps, the people cautioned their young men not to bother the other camp. However, a group of young men crossed the river and got into a fight with the young man on the other side of the camp. As the fight began, and as people rushed to stop the fight by yelling, they suddenly realized they understood each other. Discovering that both groups spoke a similar language brought them together to live as one tribe. Over the course of history, the Cheyenne people, consisting of both the earlier groups of Tsistsistas and the Tsistsistas, have come to exist in 2 different states. The Northern Cheyenne people live on the Northern Cheyenne Reservation, located in Montana, and the Southern Cheyenne people live on the Southern Cheyenne Territory, located in Oklahoma. Despite living in separate locations, these 2 tribes remain as one people through their shared history. But more importantly, these 2 tribes are held together through their culture, language, and spirituality. Their history as a people includes the many early Cheyenne stories that are told by both the Northern Cheyenne people and the Southern Cheyenne people.
Now what's the issue in them? That is a mess. This is the Tsistsistas. No, it's a kid. He nistomanit namat etahtasamat nahkoeho. Namat se haeto. Namahaam se manistowato. Ometa kiwan. Machista no way, Tsistsistas. Not the Kista no was market that's it. Nehan never Kistano. Nehan that's it. Just the most hot. The much to hit what na ma tua ta ha ma ta ha den het efnus sitte Tsistsistas ma kit het das het wische was dann no no ma Tsistsistas na ma tua no it's ikke no namat ho ma annen se mat asta ho not ho det så no se mat das det tshi ase ho et mohta wo na det så net sagt et ho dan het was dan was det mot jo Tsistsistas mocht heb ame bestaan nog niet go heb het nu wat dat nu ja mocht was dan ne moet jo
Sweet medicine, prophet of the Cheyenne people. The Cheyenne oral history is very strong. When the elders talk about sweet medicine, they bless themselves. They say not to change anything, that the way the story is told is the way it is supposed to be told. They are apprehensive about changing or adding anything to the story. The elders say to listen when they are talking and to remember what is being said, that the information they are going to share will be used in the future. If the story is not told right, it will be passed down wrong, and then it will be gone. Not only will the story disappear, but their identity as a Cheyenne will also be lost.
Mishut, Mukhaka, very so distant the words in the Mukho. Amustano, the Mamma, Ho, so no more share your work. Not just ask us, what must have them was that's my time when it gave in the honey. Not the Mukho. Dus just dat Janums, dat Janums, moet dan even zitten, heel gewoon het doen. Dan dan moet maar zijn de match. Weet je dat we echt zo hebben. Dan is het niet hoe je het doen, het doen. Dan is dat best een het is best dat je me moet daar hoor. Namun saya sebenarnya kita pun kita harus tu. Namun terus ni pun. Nas tu hisna. Namun ane tu apa? Mesti ikhlas kita juga. Mesti asal je kita. Itu na ane mungkin tahu. Not semua asne dah. Nampu mukhoy. Nah, henti ikhna semtik kemuksiman muwis jamu mahad.
Dan hindi tas mata sistemata kesi hindi kita dikit hiahan dia stansen måste stanna må här ha here works där ikke var måste ha vet ni hen hade det har han har bort det är hört samma det måste ta haput nate saat mohe hen zita shesiyom hen ya matkan zishiya hen ya muhishiya mo na muhtar to na hen mo ishit ikhaan ne nimatama na bonto naste na ata mohe na mon this time I here not here na mohe mat hista na mustab ne tama man nes hata han hoppes hata högsta att säkert var det måste man det var det han henne måste ha varit säkert var den är starkast jag har näst
då var det det måste namaste ne hette musta na ho mo tamata ta'ana tamna khus tasm mo tamustasm mutashahtisla ana man ne vamos tatsin shu na mukien tabu ma tamne tasm den nu tre när man där står som man det är många kristna vi här när det måste sånt när det man där så kul när det så vi här utan så nog som man det
Because of what he had done, sweet medicine was banished from the Cheyenne tribe for 4 years. During those 4 years, he received the ways of his people at Butte, located in present-day South Dakota.
Se jos nämä ja se nemasta että se että se tuossa he ovat tähän jo ne ovat ehkä stannu että he ovat me he ovat nämä tuovat se mitä he ovat mahien Tsististas na saattaa olla että henne enää he on tunnia koa kin he on musta haastne en he was na kin he on musta se vehtsom he var her til stormos når man her når se musta se vehtsom nas musta se me har se vehtsom var næsten net når man har Varten nam det der så efter så med der hvor der må ikke stå når jeg må vi også må det man må det jo det Tsistsistas var det vil det Shevatams når man det står Shevatams det nu også det står når det står jeg må det må have hende også det så Mohan nu den kho mukha hat park honetsen en mahsne wosta mahwa se o tam det så visse var standhus. Det kan då görs det kan se med nyttes. Må så det men så så det ni dag må kunne have noget. Når jeg må så var så ni dag har då har just. Når jeg står nu. Så det så hvis jeg tager med der sammen til det så hvis jeg var standhus så til am var standhus. Når det så då må så hedder jeg så hedder over standhus hen. Så det ser så meget her i das når man det så hvis meget her når der så det så hvis am når over standhus så det Tsistsistas det størst. Når det står har jeg hende. Må stå har jeg hende så. Når her må her ikke nogen må mere end over til det noget godt det større så. Så det må så en danne når må det større når må det har der med danne når hem og jeg så. Nu må mere end over til det noget godt. Nå. Vi har
når ni skal tage hår, stedet, jeg har boet i varslet. Og hår kan man må have til den nettere. Må have til hår. Det siger jeg, jeg synes stander til sammen med stander. Må gætte til hår. Da må have et maks der må kunne det snakke meget. Når jeg sætter næsten mod større. Nu er det sæt. Det stander nærmere. Må der. Der var der må kunne. Det er synes stander.
Må vi jo have sækket dog. Det er nyt tager jeg var. Så der nu store må have her. Det er så hårdgående. Stand. Der har det meget meget så hårdgående. Det er jo når man det så der så det så der hvor går med hjertet. Det så der det så nyt tager når man det så har vi ikke må have. Det så jeg det så på vej han når det der må det komme om det så. Nå. Ni der han må en sige her så har man tas når man tør. Det så på vej han må det dørsta. Altså jo med vidste som når man tør. Så var når at stande ni mig her ni der tør må have. Så var når at så her må have så det hedder. Når man det der tager mat har der med stande noget så det gjorde der nu sikkert var og mars når man det gjorde mars der smaken det er med hast det der må det der med stande noget sen måtte det standet når han har man der og stande have så han har man der så han så gaskonne her det kan der og komme have ikke mere må han har grønne så det som har en næstam når man ser som at det ser en nært må have og så og når at når man tager og så at og så med den talo må have det var en meget en den store så en næsten var må have nej her var mesho så her der må have til væs når man tager som har omstået. Så det har nødt til at se, hvad har der så. Hvor her. Han har nødt til at starte det semester måste.
We will now cover the teachings sweet medicine brought back to the Cheyenne people after being banished for 4 years. These include the Sacred Arrows Covenant, the Cheyenne Council of 44, and the tribal societies. We will begin with the Sacred Arrows Covenant.
The Sacred Arrow Covenant is the male ceremony of the Cheyenne people. The arrows represent the collective existence of the Cheyenne people, the sacred arrows. It was brought to us as a people by Sweet Medicine, who was taught in our sacred mountain, Bear Butte, and he was taught the ceremony itself as to how we were to renew ourselves as a people. What it is an agreement that those arrows represent the pledge and the promise that Ma'il gave to us so that we will continue to live as a people. And so long as we keep those particular tribal objects, we will endure as a people as long as the sun and the moon and the stars. And that we also have to remember as Tsistsistas, all of the teachings that Sweet Medicine brought to us, our institutions, the warrior societies, our traditional tribal government, how the chiefs are to, they were organized by Sweet Medicine. And when Sweet Medicine brought those 4 sacred arrows, which symbolize our collective existence as a people, they are our greatest resource against starvation and extinction. As Tsistsistas, they are kept in the South by the Southerners today. And a keeper must be like a chief, a person of exceptionally high moral character, because as the keeper is, so are we. And so our keepers are exceptionally important to us in making sure that they keep us as a people, which is what they are doing when they keep our sacred tribal objects. To be people of high moral character, native speakers, couples that have to have good hearts, good minds. They always have to exemplify our values as a people.
In addition to the Sacred Arrows Covenant, Sweet Medicine brought back to the Cheyenne people the Cheyenne Council of 44 and the tribal societies, which include the Bowstring Society, Kid Fox Society, and Elkhorn Scraper Society.
The Council of 44 is the traditional governing body of the Cheyenne people that was established by Sweet Medicine. He was taught how to organize us for tribal self-government within the sacred mountain, Bear Butte, Noah Wus, where the people are taught. And he, after having been in that particular mountain for 4 years, came out and he organized us in terms of our chiefs, our warrior societies, and the Council of 44.
The tribal societies and the Council of 44 will be discussed in more depth in the traditional leaders of the Cheyenne educational program. Today, the teachings of Sweet Medicine are still taught and passed down by the Cheyenne people. Bear Butte also remains the sacred mountain, the place of prayer and fasting of the people. The sacred arrows are among the Southern Cheyennes in Oklahoma, but both the Northern and Southern Cheyenne tribes are active in their tribal societies and Council of 44. This has been an educational program covering the origin of the Tsistsistas, Sweet Medicine, the prophet of the Cheyenne people, Bear Butte, the location where Sweet Medicine received his instructions, and the teachings he brought back to the Cheyenne people, which are the Sacred Arrows Covenant, the Cheyenne Council of 44, and the tribal societies. The American Indian Tribal Histories Project would like to thank Dr. Henrietta Mann, Elva Timber, Silas Big Left Hand, and Mr. Fred Whitewolf Sr. for sharing their knowledge of the Cheyenne people.